absolute great pleasure to introduce you to our next speaker. I have personally been inspired by this speaker because I grew up with a book called A Course in Miracles. This woman is a translator of sorts. She has the ability to reach a new audience of people, the new generation of seekers, if you will. She's a best-selling author of books you may know, like Adding More Ing to Your Life, A Hip Guide to Happiness. It's a good one. And Spirit Junkie, A Radical Road to Self-Love and Miracles. This woman has incredible spunk, fire, and joy. She brings a smile to my face every time I see her. And she's also the founder of a social networking site called herfuture.com. This site has an incredible mission to inspire women, to empower and connect. And she's also a pretty savvy business owner as well. She's known as, she's a social media extraordinaire. YouTube named her one of the 16 next video bloggers. And she's also been listed on the Forbes list of 20 best branded women. Her message is absolutely changing the way we relate to ourselves and to the world around us. She's been on heaps of media, but the coolest thing is that she will be aired on November 18th. You guys really should tune into this. On November 18th, she will be featured as one of the next generation thought leaders on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday. It was a 1-hour interview with Oprah. This woman is phenomenal. It is my great pleasure to introduce you to Gabrielle Bernstein. Please give her an awesome welcome.
Hello, everybody. Only at Awesomeness Fest could I wear my mic in my G-string. I looked at them and I'm like, do you think I can wear my mic in my G-string? And they were like, totally. If you're comfortable with that. So that's how I began my day today. I hope you guys are great. I think everyone's vibrating at a very high frequency. I showed up yesterday morning from New York. I live in Lower Manhattan. We had about 5 feet of water a block away from my home. No power for several days. I was living in Midtown, which was very uncomfortable for me because I don't typically go above 23rd Street. And, hovering over power cords, trying to access internet. And these minor inconveniences pale in comparison to what my neighbors have experienced in New Jersey, in Queens, Staten Island. I want to bring this to your attention not because I want to bring down the high vibe, but I want to just really honor and acknowledge what's going on the East Coast and really express to you some of the shifts that I've personally experienced this week as a result of that. It was really heavy, and it was like a very deep experience. But then I got on an airplane and came to Mexico and showed up at Awesomeness Fest and started receiving 20-minute hugs, and everything shifted. It all went away. And I really was able to experience finding power in those powerless situations. And that's really the life journey I have been on since the beginning of my spiritual quest. As a very young woman, I have experienced spirituality. I was brought up in and out of ashrams with a very cool hippie mother who would get me named by the gurus and get Shaktipat and learn to meditate at a very young age. And I was experiencing a lot of anxiety and an existential crisis when I was in my early teens, and my mom did what most hippie moms would do, and she sat my ass down on a meditation pillow. And so I began meditating at the age of 14 and really started to experience a tremendous amount of psychic awareness and started to experience my extremities go numb and experience what we all know we can have on a meditation pillow, that awakening and that presence of love and relief. And like many of us, as you've heard on this stage throughout the weekend, and the lovely gentleman that spoke before me, I turned my back on that awareness. I spent several years looking for my happiness in external circumstances. I spent years looking for my happiness outside of myself, seeking my power outside of myself. much different than that experience of being in New York and coming here and finding my power in powerless situations. I was looking for my power out there. And all of you know in some form what that experience is. I said to my friend Ariel Ford yesterday, I said, Ariel, we're preaching to the choir here, right? And she's like, oh yeah, this is the choir. She's like, they are really awake. I was like, okay, awesome. So you guys know what I'm talking about. You know that experience of potentially having that connection and then maybe saying, fuck it, I'm going to go in another direction. Let me see if I can find it in those shoes. Let me see if I can find it in that man or that woman or in those credentials or in that money or in that cocaine. I, too, am a recovering addict. I just celebrated 7 years of sobriety. Thank you. And so we look and we search and we go deep into all of these really dark corners. And as was mentioned, I'm a teacher of a metaphysical text called A Course in Miracles. So the Course says that we have this tiny mad idea and we detour into fear and we have this descent from magnitude into littleness. And that magnitude of I am great, I am powerful, I am surrounded by love, I have the power to heal myself, I have the power to experience shifts, I have the power to create miracles, to choosing a tiny mad idea and detouring into fear. And as we all know, that fear becomes our reality. And so for me, that was the case. That fear became my reality. I went to very dark places. I was living in a really, all about me mentality. And only to find by the age of 25, running a public relations business in New York City representing nightclubs, I found that experience of hitting my knees. And on October 2nd, 2005, I said a prayer. I said, I need a miracle. This isn't working. And I woke up that morning and I heard a very authoritative voice say, get clean, girl, and you will live a life beyond your wildest dreams. And so I have been listening to that voice, and one day at a time, deepening and strengthening that call, that really loud call to continue to turn inward, to deepen that presence of power within, to heighten that experience of spirit, to heighten that experience of intuition, to heighten that experience of peace and serenity and calm, and to heighten that experience of knowing how to find my power in powerless situations. And so as a student of the metaphysical text, A Course in Miracles, as a student of Kundalini Yoga, as a spirit junkie, as I am a self-proclaimed spirit junkie, one day at a time, I have grown my spiritual practice. And much like those beautiful Aussies were up here talking about how we can experience such transformational shifts emotionally, physically, financially, and from a high, high level of service. And so I experienced that shift even heightened this week in New York. That shift of seeing, oh girl, you got to go to a whole new level now. This is not about how many books you can sell. This is not about how many people are following you on Twitter. This is not about how big the audience is. This is about waking everyone up. And so I did what I did best on my birthday last Thursday in a dirty-ass hotel room in Midtown, which was totally trippy. I sat on my meditation pillow once again, and I tuned in, and I said my great prayer from A Course in Miracles. Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? And when I call on Spirit, Spirit speaks loud, because we all have the capacity to hear that inner voice of our intuition, hear the inner voice of our great ancestors that can come through and say, sister, get to work. But we have to clear the space to hear. So through prayer and meditation, we can ask, and then we can sit and listen. And so I asked, I said, show me what to do. And immediately I started to hear the authoritative voice of one of my new guides, a spirit guide, Yogi Bhajan. I am now currently on a really awesome path of Kundalini training. And I heard Yogi Bhajan, and Yogi Bhajan was an incredible Kundalini master who came here from India, and he came here because he heard the call. He left his comfort zone, came to America because God said to him, go teach the Americans how to find peace in not peaceful situations because the shit is gonna hit the fan. I don't know if God said that, but it might have been something like that. And the shit's gonna hit the fan. It's the Aquarian age. It's gonna be really screwy. Go to the States. Go teach these Americans how to have this technology so that they can find that neutral mind, so that they can still their crazy chaos, so that they can have power in a very powerless circumstance. And so Yogi Bhajan came here on a mission. And he taught many, many yogis. And now those yogis are teaching people like myself to teach this technology to bring this work into the world. And so I heard Yogi Bhajan's voice, and I heard him say, this is what I was talking about. We are days away from the real shift, November 11th, the real shift of the Aquarian age and the full effects of what is going to happen. He was prophesizing the internet and the speediness and the chaos of having so much contact and the environmental issues and the wars. And so all of this was so heightened and so clear, and I heard him, and he said, this is what I was talking about. And in his words, he said, sister, get to work. And I sat there, and I was like, okay, I got it, I got to get to work. And I felt in that moment actually a little bit more overwhelmed, because the energy was so heightened and so chaotic and so crazy, and I just felt in that moment, as a woman who typically doesn't take no for an answer, I felt like, oh my God, there is so much work to do. And I felt so uncomfortable in that experience. And so at which point I said that I need guidance. I need more guidance. About 20 minutes later, I received an email from my mentor, Marianne Williamson. And Marianne sent an email and she said, happy birthday. I know you're going through so much in New York, but I hope you know how great things are, and I hope you're wonderful, and this and that. And I wrote back, Marianne, and it's hard to tell your mentors that you're scared, right? Sometimes it is. For me, I said, I'm really overwhelmed. I'm really uncomfortable. I'm really scared about what's going on in the world, and I know that that fear isn't going to serve me or anybody else. What's your suggestion? And she wrote back and she said, well, you're the princess of New York. And she said, with that, you need to get your hands dirty. And so I just heard that so loud, I dropped my laptop, I unplugged my phone, and I ran downtown, and I started making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I started bringing food upstairs. I started to get into that place, like Aung San Suu Kyi says, when you're feeling helpless, help someone. And so we all have those moments in our life where we have to really recognize that it's not just about the capacity that we have to tune in. It's not just about the capacity that we have to sit in stillness and own our internal power. But it's also about our capacity to hear that inner call that says, go downtown. Go be of service. Go get your hands dirty. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know each and every one of you are those folks who sit on your meditation pillow, who hear that call, and who show up in a massive way. But I'm here to heighten that even more, because you guys are exactly who I want to be talking to. There is a really loud call for more light workers, and you're all hired. We have a lot of work to do, and though you have been in Mexico, I'm sure you have been feeling the energetic shifts that are occurring in our country and throughout the world. You can't not. Our psychic capacity to pick up this stuff is just so high, especially for those of us who are meditating regularly and praying regularly. That experience of spirit is really heightened. And so we're in a container right now where we are hugging, where we are holding space, where we are meditating and praying, and that is incredible. But we need to really step into our authentic power here this weekend and really make that personal commitment to take it a whole other step further. And that was the birthday present I gave myself. I said to myself that day, after hearing Yogi Bhajan and after getting that message from Marianne and after all the service downtown, I said, sister, it's time to get to work in a whole new way. And I heard that. I heard it's not about the numbers. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about this, that, and this. It's about waking people up. And when I sit on my meditation pillow, the vision I see is seas of people. And it's as if they have that graduation cap. And I'm standing on a stage and I see all these people, and that graduation cap of thousands and thousands of people is being thrown into the air, and underneath that cap is a beam of light. And this is what A Course in Miracles calls the great rays of light. When people start to awaken to the fact that we are just spirits having a human experience. And so I hear my call. My call is saying, go wake up the masses. Go pop their tops off. Let those hats fly and see that light beam. And most importantly, wake up folks like yourself even more. Take the light workers to the next level and give them that real, strong calling to say, yes, I'm ready to do more. I'm ready to do more. I'm ready to listen more. I'm ready to sit still more. I'm ready to have a daily sadhana, not just sit for 5 minutes, not just sit for 2 minutes, sit for 20 minutes. I'm here to bring new technologies into my life. I'm here to pray more. I'm here to tune in, not just once a day, all day long. And so I really wanted to bring that conversation here today because I am feeling that call louder than ever, and I'm assuming and I'm hoping that many of you are too, that this is a really crucial time. And the only way that we can combat and traverse these times is if more and more of us are holding the energy of stillness, if more and more of us are awakened to that neutral mind, if more and more of us are functioning from that place of our highest capacity. And this morning I was getting something printed over there, and I was just getting so pissed off because the email address to send something to print over at the front desk was literally 5 paragraphs long in Spanish. And I was like, I can't get this. And I started getting pissed and heated, and I looked at this woman, and I was being so rude to the woman at the front desk, and I heard Yogi Bhajan say, "She is you." And these are the moments that we need to have all throughout our day. Our ego is going to take us out in any given moment. That's the reality. We're always going to be taken out. There's a million opportunities to be taken out, and there's really big opportunities to be taken out, like storms and hurricanes and really uncomfortable things. We need to start to bring our spiritual chops and our heightened faith into these moment-to-moment circumstances. Sitting before this woman, getting pissed off about the email address, but simply saying, she is me. She is me. And so what I've done is I've brought a few things that I wanted to bring. One of the things is I brought Yogi Bhajan's 5 sutras for the Aquarian age, and I want to talk through those. And then I want to give you 2 of the greatest meditations, 2 of the meditations that I've been practicing regularly in my daily sadhana. And so a sadhana is a spiritual practice, having that experience of daily tuning in, daily turning inward, but not just, oh, I'm going to try to get there. Having a commitment, waking up. When these guys said, who is awake watching the sunrise sober? I was so proud to say, I was. And that's not to separate or compare, but I want you all to have that experience of being so proud of your sadhana, to say, yeah, I was meditating at the crack of dawn this morning in Mexico. Sober. You know, having those moments of real, genuine pride in your practice. And not just because, oh yeah, I checked that off the list, but because I have work to do. I am a miracle worker. I can't F around. I realize there's children in this audience, so I really want to curse. I can't F around. I have work to do. So we really need to take that in. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the 5 sutras, and then I'm going to give you these 2 radical meditations that I have been using. And I actually think we'll begin with one of the meditations right now because I feel like we need to wake up and vibrate a little bit more, okay? So what these guys were saying to me, oh, well, you will be so mellow after your meditation. I was like, oh, no, you'll be really awake. So I would like to play, Paul, we'll play the first song, the Beck song. If everybody can just have uncross your legs. Put your arm, we're doing what is called Ego Eradicator. Oh yeah, she's like, oh yeah, arms in the air, 60 degrees, thumbs facing inward, almost on an arc. You're gonna do what we call breath of fire, breathing very deeply in and out your nose. As you inhale, your stomach extends. As you exhale, it comes in. It's like this. Can you hear it? Breath of fire. Very, very deep. We can play the music as loud as it is, comfortable to play. And let's ego eradicate now. Arms straight, neck is back, shoulders are down. Breath of fire. Breathe deeply in your nose, out your nose, very quickly. Even more. Straighten your arms. Breath of fire. Eyes closed. Arms straight, 60 degrees. We're going to go a little longer. When you breathe through the pain, that's when the miracle happens. Straighten your arms and commit to your commitment of being a miracle worker. Breaking through your boundaries, breaking through your feelings of powerlessness, discomfort, comparison, self-judgment and attack. Deepen your breath, breath of fire. Straighten your arms, lengthen your back. Commit even more. Go big. One more minute. Finish it off really well. Straighten your arms, deepen your breath. Commit to what you came here for. Commit to what you want. Commit to what you are here to do in service of the world. Deepen your breath. Raise your arms to the sky, open your hands, take a deep breath in and hold that breath. Take a deep breath in and hold it. On the exhale, release. In this moment, we call on all of the guidance of the highest truth and compassion. We call on Jesus, Buddha, Gandhi, Yogi Bhajan. We call on Mother Teresa. We call on all of the guides who came before us, all of those who showed up with genuine strength and found power in the most powerless circumstances. We call on the energy of this collective consciousness to come into this room to help awaken us, to help us step into our power in an even greater way. We welcome this strength, we welcome this power, we welcome this guidance. As a community of conscious light workers, we make a commitment in this moment now. We sign a sacred contract to be of even higher service, to wake up even more, to tap into our truth and be more real, to commit to a daily sadhana, and to claim what we are genuinely here to do. Take a deep breath in and own that. And release. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Feels good, right? The ego is eradicated. Beginning to. I do this every day for 11 minutes. Gets easier. I kept my hands up the whole time while you guys were meditating because I didn't want to just leave it up to you. So I want to leave this imprint to give you this tool that for me what it does is it just cuts through the crap. It just says, oh, there is no more time for bullshit. There is no more time for playing small. Let's cut through all that right now, early morning, 11 minutes, and then let's begin our day. So that's my first tool I'd like to offer as a powerful suggestion. Often what the yogis and the metaphysicians suggest is to do a 40-day practice of something and to not skip it. And if you do skip a day, you start to day one again. And so my suggestion really to begin with is to begin your ego eradicator 1 day through 40, starting today. Go to the beach. Sit under the moonlight and practice ego eradicator. This is what I did when I got off the plane last night. I sat, and all of these beautiful children were playing on the beach. And I did my ego eradicator, and I didn't care that I looked like a crazy person. I had my hands in the air, and I was sitting in the moonlight. And what is a better experience of finding your power in a powerless situation than to be able to use a tool that's going to cut through the crap and tap into your truth? And so that truth is what we need more of. I recently did an interview, and someone said to me, "Oh, are you so proud of who you've become?" And I was like, I haven't become anyone. I've just become more of who I really am. Everyone I was, all the archetypes of who I thought I was up until the age of 25 were con artists. It wasn't real. It was based on false pretenses. It was based on the desire to get more, not to give more. It was based on a me mentality, not a we mentality. It was based on the energy of separation, comparison, judgment, attack. What I really want to express is that we have those moments of just realizing that that stuff won't work. We get it. We know. I'm talking to the choir. You know. It's not going to happen. You're not going to find that love. You're not going to find that peace in that dollar sign. Trust me, it doesn't matter. I have had Oprah on my vision board for 20 years, and only 2 weeks ago was I sitting next to her, and I walked off that set, and I was like, oh, that was it? And now I don't want to discredit the magnitude of what it is to have the opportunity to talk about God in that platform. That's what mattered. That's all that mattered. It did not matter that I was sitting next to Oprah. It mattered that we were talking about God in that massive platform. Please take a cue from my sister Oprah. She said to us when we sat down, she said, the only reason I started the Oprah Winfrey Network was to do Super Soul Sunday. All I want to do is wake people up. Can you feel the power of that? She put so much on the line, invested so much money, because she just wants to teach people what God means. She just wants to crack people open. She just wants to create more light workers. And we are all here to do that. And so those experiences of, okay, I got to get this thing to be happy, we know that's not it anymore. We recognize and we understand that the only reason we really are here is to tap into the cosmos, is to tap into that presence of power and extend that power so that we can be a power of example for everyone around us, so that the people and the beings around us can recognize that the powerful light within us is a reflection of the light within them. That is also one of the greatest ways you can be of service, is just to be the light. Just to walk around and extend the light and express the light. That's when people say, I want more of that. They're empowered by your presence and your energy, and most importantly, your truth. I typically don't know what the fuck I'm going to say when I get on stage. I don't. I bring a little bit of a message, but I don't know. And honestly, I don't care, because the only thing I want to give is my truth. I just want to be honest. I just want to be truthful. I just want you to know how I feel. That's all the world wants from us. All the world wants is our truth. All people want is you. Is that expression of you, that genuine, authentic place within you. That's all we want. All the other stuff is crap. And people can feel it. You can smell it, especially light workers like you. We can smell it when we are around that like crazy, bombastic energy. It's like, this isn't real. So one of the messages I also have been receiving from Yogi Bhajan is to really express those 5 sutras so that we can awaken that presence of truth more. So I'm going to give you the 5 sutras and interpret them in my spirit junkie lingo. Okay? And I want you to consider taking these 5 sutras into your moment-to-moment life, much like I did this morning. The first sutra is recognize that the other person is you. This morning, when I was being a crazy maniac with the woman at the front desk, I heard that voice, she is you. And those are the moments when I'm practicing the 5 sutras. Every given moment, every encounter is a holy encounter, A Course in Miracles teaches us. Every moment we meet someone, we can recognize that the other person is me. So sutra number 1, recognize the other person is you. In recognizing that oneness, we start to chip away at the separation, as A Course in Miracles teaches. The separation is the moment that we recognize and we choose to believe that we are special or that we are less special. Maybe some of you came here as participants and you've been looking at the speakers as separate and special, wishing you could be on the stage. Or maybe you're a teacher with the microphone in your G-string and you're thinking, oh, I am so special, right? Or maybe you're, really creating that separation in your romantic relationships. This is a big one. People really like to make their romantic partners very, very special. We put those partners up on a pedestal and we see them as this really heightened idol. And we all know what happens when an idol falls. We fall with them. And so I want you to start to see all of the specialness that you have created in your life, all of the separateness. Because in this instance, special ain't so special, right? This is the experience of saying, oh, I have made myself better than. And in those moments when you have that heightened awareness and you can check yourself before you wreck yourself and you can say, oh, I separated myself from the woman at the counter. Or, I have made that guy really special. And we see those moments of specialness and separateness. We can just say that simple sutra, I recognize he is me. I recognize she is me. And have a moment of tuning inward and remembering that we are one. Remembering that the essence of love and truth in that person is exactly the same as the essence of love and truth within me, no matter what they did or what they said or what they wear or where they work or what color of skin they have. They are me. The first sutra. It's been helping me a lot. The second sutra. There is a way through every block. Whew. It feels good to just say it. There is a way through every block. As a spirit junkie, I live with this mentality of I see opportunities in obstacles. I see all of my life's obstacles as opportunities to strengthen and heighten my spiritual growth. So when a roadblock comes up, I have a moment of ego flip out because we just do. I was flipping out at the computer this morning. Like, we flip out. This is just what we do. And some people are really like high-level gurus, and they're like, oh, I don't even get fazed by this. That's not me. I get fazed, and then within a few minutes, I remember the truth. And then within a few minutes, I remember, oh, there is a way through every block. And in that moment, I also remember, oh, what would you have me learn here? What would you have me learn? And I take that breath and I take that moment to say, oh, there is a lesson in this for me. There is a divine opportunity, a spiritual assignment. Remembering that the world is our classroom and people are our assignments. And so I sit in that stillness and I say, oh, what would you have me learn? And sometimes I hear it very quickly, and sometimes I need to bring it to my meditation pillow. And sometimes I just can let it come throughout the day. But the lesson will be given to me once I remember that the lesson is there. Can everybody get that? That there is a way through every block means, oh, what do I have to learn from this? How can I grow spiritually from this? Yes, there is a block. Yes, there is a tremendous amount of craziness going on in my town in New York right now. But there is a way through every block. And what can I do? I can tune in and I can listen. And that's my example earlier of saying the prayer, sitting in stillness, saying, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say and to whom? Then hearing Yogi Bhajan's voice, then getting Marianne's email was the way through the block. Then getting my ass downtown to get my hands dirty. That was where the guidance comes. So we have to understand, the guidance doesn't come in like a telegram. The guidance comes in really unique, innovative forms. It comes through a song. It comes through a cab driver. It comes through an email. It comes through a lover. It comes through a very heightened experience of intuitive guidance. We all can experience this guidance, but we have to wake up to it, and we have to ask for that guidance. And so through prayer, you ask, through meditation, you listen, and remembering there is a way through every block will be your greatest tool in working through the powerless situations. Okay. Number 3, when the time is on you, start, and the pressure will be off. I love this one. I've always sort of had this F it, let's go mentality. Like, I'm not somebody who has like, oh, I want to, do this philanthropic thing and I'm going to wait 5 years before I do it. I start doing it like 5 minutes later. And that energy of when the pressure is on you, start and begin is what we need more of right now, because we know how sped up everything is. We don't have time to wait 3 years before we write our book. We don't have time to wait 5 minutes. We have to get to work. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't be methodical and we can't think things through, but that we begin the process and set it in motion and start now. We do not have time to waste. And so that F it, let's go mentality, I'm just translating Yogi Bhajan's 5 sutras that I made. Number 3 is F it, let's go. So take F it, let's go and begin. When the time is on you, start. When the pressure is on you, start. Go. If there is an awakened idea that came to you this weekend, an empowered moment of, I need to get on that. I need to get on that plane. I need to fly to Africa. I need to fly to New York. I need to do that work. I need to get that book written. I need to write that script. Whatever it was that came to you this weekend, start it now, today on the beach. I'm going to be walking around looking who has their pen and their paper on the beach. I'm going to be looking. Start. When the pressure is on, start. That is when you can feel relief. That feeling that I had when the pressure was on and Marianne said, get your hands dirty, and I got right in a cab and went right downtown, I felt immediately relieved. When you're feeling helpless, help someone. Immediate relief. Immediate. That Aung San Suu Kyi quote just rings in my ears. When you're feeling helpless, help someone. Just start. Go, go, go. Number 4, understanding through compassion. So understand through compassion, or you will misunderstand the times. What Yogi Bhajan wanted us to know is that this is a time when we can't be like we were in the Piscean age. In the Piscean age, we were in a way where it was all about me. It was all about how great I can get, how big I can get, how wealthy I can get, how loud I can be heard. And look at some of the leaders of that time, and look at the way that you may have acted in that time, or if or family members, and see the shift that's occurring now. That time was a me mentality. This is a we mentality. And so recognizing through compassion, and if you don't acknowledge compassion, you will misunderstand the times. So compassion, the experience of recognizing we're all in this together. We are all one. We have to be compassionate towards every being around us. We have to have that we mentality, or we will not be able to grow. This is not a time like it was of how can I get. This is a time of how can I give. How can I give more love? How can I give more service? And simply, how can I give more positive energy? Our thoughts and our energy can pollute the planet. Every thought you have is either heightening your level of energy and your experience, or your thoughts are lowering your level of energy and experience. And those low-level thoughts, though you think they are contained, are not idle. As A Course in Miracles says, there are no idle thoughts. Every thought has energy. And so your thoughts are either heightening the energy of the planet and saving the world, or they are lowering the vibration and making it shake, creating hurricanes, storms. Don't think for a second that your thoughts are not participating in the chaos. Every thought we have is a moment to become more heightened from a spiritual perspective, or a moment to lower the vibration of the planet. So through compassion, understand the times, and forgive as frequently as possible. Practice the F word everywhere. Forgive yourself as frequently as possible and forgive others. And then the final sutra is vibrate the cosmos, and the cosmos shall clear the path. Good one, right? Vibrate the cosmos, and the cosmos shall clear the path. My experience with this is that the more I practice, the easier my life becomes. The more effortless experiences are, the more flow begins to happen. And you all know this. Once again, you know this. But we can't just think about these things anymore. These spiritual principles can't just be something that we talk about because we're just in a New Age community. They have to be things that we live. They have to be experiences that we have. We must have a visceral experience, not just some heady experience. That's why I like being able to bring Kundalini into these rooms. We're going to do one more meditation that will, I hope, help you have a very visceral experience so that you can recognize that when you're vibrating with the cosmos will clear the path. You will be told where to go, what to do, and what to say. You will be shown exactly what you need. We think, oh, I don't know how, I can't get this, I don't have enough, it's not clear. Vibrate with the cosmos, and the cosmos will clear the path. It's really simple. We just make it so freaking crazy. We just make it so uncomfortable. We just make it so difficult. We build up a wall against that presence of love. And A Course in Miracles says, I am not here to teach you the meaning of love. I'm here to teach you how to release all that blocks you from the presence of love within you. So the more you vibrate with the cosmos when you're meditating, when you're praying, when you're practicing the 5 sutras, when you're recognizing that you are one, when you are releasing the specialness, the more you practice these principles and your own spiritual path that you are each on, the more you practice these principles, the more you vibrate with the cosmos, the more you vibrate with the cosmos, the more your path is clear. And this isn't just for you. This isn't just for you to get that hit, oh, go start that business. This isn't just for you to get that clear path of, oh, here's how you can make that money, or here's how you can get laid. It's not about that. This is about clearing that path so that you have more energy, you have more vibrance, you have more inspiration and more intuition so you can show up when everything else around you is falling apart. This is what I'm here to talk about. I can't play small anymore. I can't talk to people about, the little tricks for being happy. That's over. We have to get to work. And so I really want to make sure that that last sutra really sits in your being, in your core, and you can say, oh yeah, I got to vibrate at the cosmos. And some of that also means sleeping more, partying a little less, forgiving more frequently, cleaning up the addictions. We have to release the blocks to the presence of power and love within us. All the power and love that you want in your life will only come when you commit to clearing the blocks. And that is the most significant piece of information. It's information we all know, it's information we all talk about, it's information we must put into practice every waking moment. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean that you have to walk out and be like some major prophet. Like sometimes we get the hit, oh, I'm going to teach this work in sort of an unconventional way, or be an undercover cop for spiritual growth, right? And so some of the books that I write are, my new book is called May Cause Miracles, and it's going to be out January 1st. And that book is not necessarily, you guys will all benefit from it, but it's really like an undercover spiritual guide. And so when someone says, well, what's the book about? And I'm in a community like this, I can say it's a book about helping people get into the practice of talking to God. But when I'm on the Today Show, I can say it's a 40-day guide to experience, release, and happiness, right? Doesn't matter, it's all semantics. As long as the intention is within the work, as long as the intention to serve and wake people up is behind the work, then you can package it however you want. You can express it. I am the biggest marketer. I love marketing. I think it is one of the most important things. I believe the internet is my co-pilot. I definitely see the internet as my business partner. And we need to really show up for that marketing and that expression of our work in a really neat way. And recognize that as long as the intention and the truth is in every page, then it doesn't matter how you package it. It doesn't matter if it's a 40-day guide. It doesn't matter if it's a hip guide to happiness or a radical road to self-love and miracles. That really what the essence is helping people talk to God. And so getting that, this is not about trying to make it, so heady that people can't get it. In fact, because things are so fast and so quick, we actually need to simplify even more. And so as you go out in the world and you say, oh, I'm a light worker, I have a lot of work to do, I'm writing this blog, make it simple, make it easy. I'm very grateful to be able to come into rooms like this and talk about God from a very high-level God conversation. But sometimes I walk into a room and it's a college campus, or it's, people that are not as awake. And you just find the language, it's just semantics, and you begin to translate in a more innovative, simple way. And so don't be afraid to do that. Just remember that the authentic power that you are here to express will come through you naturally in all different environments, and the words will be given to you. When you tap into the cosmos, you don't have to think about what to say anymore. What you need to say will come through you naturally. It's effortless. You'll be shown what to do. And so as I wrap up, I really want to give you that. I really want to recognize and acknowledge for each of you that that clear channel is all you need. You'll know how to dial it up in certain rooms. You'll know how to dial it down in others. And as long as you're expressing your truth, the answers in truth will come through you in the words that need to come. And so I want to give that piece. And with that, I want to give you one more meditation to take home with you. And this one is called Inner Conflict Resolver. Who doesn't need that? Right? Inner Conflict Resolver has saved my ass on so many occasions. And it's quite simple. It's through breath and stillness. And so I'd like you all to put your hands facing one another, like so, above your chest. Thumbs facing upward, fingertips touching one another, right above your breasts. The breath is like this. You're going to breathe in for 5, exhale for 5, extend your breath for 15. So you're holding, but extending. When I say extending, it's almost like you're lifting your rib cage and your stomach comes in. So you're extending, opening your heart in that 15-second extension. And I'll guide you, and then I'm going to let you go and guide yourself, and we can play that next song. And I hope and pray for you to have a very visceral experience. Take a deep breath in. Breathing in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes closed. Commit. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go on your own. In for 5, exhale for 5, extend for 15. In for 5, out for 5, extend for 15. Opening your heart. One more minute. Deepen your breath. And take a deep breath in and hold it. And release your hands. Sit with eyes closed. Continue to breathe deeply in and out your nose. Open your heart. Breathe deeply. Breathing deeply in and out your nose, make the commitment to showing up more. Make a commitment to listening more. Make a commitment to daily sadhana. Make a commitment to having a heart-opening experience everywhere you go. Recognize that the other person is in you. There is a way through every block. When the time is on you, start and the pressure will be off. Understand through compassion or you will misunderstand the times. Vibrate with the cosmos shall clear the path. Breathe that in. Take a deep breath in and release it. And when you're ready, open your eyes to the room. I feel so much when I'm in these rooms with people that are willing to go there. So thank you. Feels so good to preach to the choir It feels so good to know that I'm not alone in my shared mission. It feels so good to know that my sisters and brothers are holding my hand as we show up in a big way. My hope and my intention for today was just to give you a little spiritual cheerleading. To just say, let's go bigger, let's go deeper, let's be more real. Let's honor and acknowledge the work we need to do and the commitment we must make. I'm so extremely grateful for Vishen and for the community that everyone at Mind Valley has created here, because what they're doing is really creating college for light workers, or like a master's for light workers. And it is this type of work that will help elevate the consciousness. And so I'm so grateful and honored to have been able to share this experience with you. I hope to give many, many hugs. And I hope to see you all starting today, getting on that path now, and showing up in a massive, massive way. Satnam. Thank you.